Here's part 2 of adding the beginning colors of colored pencil drawings. I've gone in and added a little bit more detail in there, but it's basically what I was doing earlier, very light addition of color. So before I let this get too far away from me, I'm going to start over here on the left side. And this is a dark purple, black cherry that I'm adding. And since this is a hill in the background, your average hill has little crests and recesses, crevices in it, so I'm just adding a little bit of where the darker areas on this hill would be. You would also have lighter areas, like what I'm adding in right here, to over here. The nice thing about these Prismacolored pencils is you can blend your colors a little bit. It's not quite to the extent that I can do if I'm painting with oils or acrylics or watercolors, but I can blend decently well with these Prismacolor ones. And right now this is just a very light, very basic application of color. As I said in the previous video, this sketch has kind of changed several times, so I'm kind of being a little timid here about what I'm doing because I'm not entirely sure what I want it to turn out like. I have a pretty good idea. So now on this little part here, I'm pressing harder. I'm being a bit more aggressive about my application of color. So we're not seeing background really in this little area much anymore. And with colored pencils, some people will let the paper show through and it will look amazing. And there are some people who will press down very hard, like what I tend to do, and cover it. I'm not totally militant about coloring in every single little piece of paper that might show through, but the style I learned calls for coloring in most of the paper, so that's what I tend to do. But I do like to experiment a lot, so if I feel the piece needs to be looser or rougher, I will let more of the paper show through. So what I'm doing down here now is I'm going to have some vegetation growing up so that the foot of the hill is not completely visible. So I'm just adding some little darker color down so that I know where it is that those colors will come up. So it'll be lighter colors like up here. And I'm going to darken some of these brighter colors a little bit by going over them with this olive green. Since I have a strong light source coming in from over on this side, I want this side to be a bit darker. So if it's too bright on this side, it'll distract from my main subject over on this side. This part is kind of a show of what's around, so to speak. And as I'm drawing here, I'm altering the angle of my strokes. This changing of direction helps fill in more of the background. And so there's about 10 minutes, and I've got that one corner mostly done.